Alright, so what we have here is basically just a generic PC box that really doesn't really deserve a video. It used to be mine, actually, until 2007 when my father stole it from me. But you can see that from my last video I have cleaned it up a little bit, just to show that I do take pride in my possessions. You'll notice that there's no longer a great big huge stain on the front of the case. But what is left is streaking. I'm going to have to fix that. That didn't work out too well. I am going to be going back over it and cleaning it, but not right now. You can see on the front we have a DVD-RW, CD-RW. Camera needs a crap load of light. And we have a floppy drive in it. That isn't hooked up because of the graphics card that's in it, that I'll show you in a second. But we have an LCD readout. I will show you what that is in a second when I power the machine up. Front panel consists of two USB 2.0 ports. Well, there might be 1.1, it might be too old for 2.0, I don't know. A 1394 large style connector with dust in it. Front panel audio, and the two power and hard drive activity indicators and a reset switch. It's also has a handle on it, which makes it easy to carry around. And you can see the dust flying out of that. System isn't light by any means. It's definitely lighter than a beige box tower. And you can see it does have color on the inside. I just knocked over a Windex bottle. It has two Western Digital 80GB hard drives. One of them is different than the other. It has an Intel Pentium D running at about, I think it's a 2.8 to be totally honest. It's not a 3.0. Well, actually it might be. I haven't looked. And I'm going to clean up that mess. So I'll be back in a second. The graphics card is an ATI Radeon. Actually, it's a Sapphire card that I will show you. The power supply has been replaced. A TreadNet wireless card in there as well. That's the Sapphire Radeon card with the huge heatsink and the fan on it. Board supports serial ATA. There are capacitors in the on the board that I will have to take a look at. Make sure that none of them are swelling, because this, I believe, was built during the capacitor failure era. But these actually came off of an old Creative box that was built, ran Windows 98. I wish I still had that to this day. It was an AT system. See, we have an Acer monitor. It is a 15-inch LCD panel. Actually a lot better than some of the pieces of crap that you can buy today. Lasts longer. And this is actually a pretty decent keyboard. I mean, look at that. It's got USB out, USB pass-throughs. And it does use a it does support PS2 and USB. The machine voices its location, where it was made. Anyways, the power supply is actually an Antec Earth Watts, as you can see by the sticker that's inside. And the port plethora. We have a PS2 keyboard and mouse in, a 9-pin serial, a parallel, a VGA, onboard VGA, two more USB ports, a Ethernet, two more USB ports. I don't know what that is, but that is your sound out, and that's your microphone. The video card has a DVI out, S-video out, and a VGA out. And this thing also has a wireless that doesn't quite work, last I knew. The board is a P5PE-VM. Oh, I thought that was a bulging capacitor, but it's not. This thing does have caps in it that I'm going to end up probably having to take a look at, because this was, like I said, this was built during the capacitor failure era, to the best of my knowledge. It runs Windows XP. Probably hasn't been updated in years, but it runs Windows XP. Let's power it up. See, that is a temperature delete tender setup here. The BIOS has been flashed. See, the nice rainbow color really shows the capabilities of VGA. But you can see they're both the same drive. But the date and time is correct. The time is not correct. It does have a, oh, you know what? But I don't think the drive is plugged in, so it's not going to work. But it's identifying a 144 megabyte, 3.5-inch AMI BIOS. It's version 1501. Build is in 2007, so this actually has been flashed, because this machine, to my best of my knowledge, was built in 2004. I could probably check the dates, but I'm too lazy to do that. And it's a 2.8 gigahertz Intel Pentium D. It's a dual core. And it has, I believe, 1.5 gigabytes of memory. It is Windows XP. When I yank it, Not feel like having sound on this machine. Does take a while to start up. Ironically, I still have an account on here. We'll have to change the startup stuff here. And AVG needs updating. Oh, look at that. Wireless is apparently working. Isn't that just nice? Is it running Service Pack 3? It is running Service Pack 3. It has a 2.8 gigahertz with 1.5 gigabytes of memory. I can't do anything because I'm on a limited user account here. And I will verify that that is indeed the case. That is indeed the case. I am running a limited user account. I don't know the password to any of the admins. So this machine is basically just going to sit as is. What's installed in terms of software? It has a tax stuff, QuickTime, iTunes, Applian Director, whatever that is. It has a Sync Toy, Open Office, Mozilla. It has Microsoft Office. It has a EA stuff, AVG, and Adobe Photoshop. So that's pretty much it. You can just shut it off without installing updates. Alright, that concludes my video of the Intel Pentium D system. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave your comments down below. And I hope to see you next time. Till then.